All right, my friends. Hello, and welcome to Tuesday Meditation. It is so nice to have you here. I hope that you have had a little bit of rest at some point today and that you are able to come into the space that we're sharing together and just find your own kind of rest. And I heard in my own private meditation this morning this idea that sometimes we show up to meditation and we think, okay, I need to sit. I need to get still. I need to just find that spot. And so what I want us to do before we even begin that is to give ourselves a little grace and understanding that it's been a long day and you've probably engaged in a lot of things. And so as my person that I meditate with was leading us, she encouraged us to move our bodies before we start, just to allow the body to settle in and find stillness instead of forcing it into stillness. And so however you are seated or lying down, just go ahead and gently either close your eyes or cast them down a bit. And just start to kind of roll your neck side to side, maybe dropping the ear toward the shoulder, maybe the chin toward the chest, and then the ear toward the other shoulder, and then the neck back. Just kind of find a little circle with your head, just rolling it little by little. Don't rush it. We're not trying to engage in any kind of deep stretching, but just allow the neck to move. And then change directions. If you're going clockwise, switch to counterclockwise or vice versa. And then I want to encourage you the way that she encouraged us this morning. Notice. Notice what it feels like to move your neck. Oftentimes we get to the point that we don't notice anything until the tightness has set in. And so as you stop those little rolls, just go ahead and sit up or lie there wherever you are and start to shrug your shoulders up just a little bit. And then slowly let them drop. And shrug the shoulders up again. And slowly let them drop. A couple more times, just shrug and notice, just like with the neck, where's the tightness? Where are the spots? One more time, shrug them up and let them drop. Then move your hands just a bit, kind of making some fists, releasing any tightness in your joints of your knuckles and your hands, your wrists. Just kind of move the hands. Just a few breaths more here. And then ask your body to find stillness. And as I went through that practice this morning, I thought, what a beautiful thing to give myself a little grace and understanding that, you know what? I can't just all of a sudden tell myself to be still and it happens. Sometimes I need to work some stuff out. And so as I went through my day today, I was thinking, the same is so true in other parts of our life. Sometimes we just need to work some things out. And so as we come into this collective space together tonight, each of us individually in our own path and our own story, but still collectively sharing this idea of wanting to be more aware and more present, I want our focus tonight to be just working some things out. And as you sit and you find a good rhythm of breath, I want to go back to the words I shared just a couple nights ago. And I asked you to just visualize yourself on a path, in the forest, on a trail, or somewhere in nature, somewhere at a park, but not a place that has sidewalks. Just imagine yourself someplace where the terrain is a little rocky. And the only real path that you see is the one that people have laid before you with their footsteps, with the pressure of the weight of their body. And I gave the analogy on Sunday is that we start on these paths. And sometimes they're a little unknown, and so we're constantly looking down, checking our feet, checking our footing, making sure we're okay. And as we continue to get a little more comfortable, we walk, we notice, we hear, we smell. And then all of a sudden we come to a spot on that path where the terrain gets a little rockier. And there are parts of us that want to just bulldoze through. But I encouraged you the other day that that is the time to pause. And I said on that night that I wanted to pick that idea up the next time we were together, and that's where we are now. We've paused to work some things out. Same way you make little movements and you find a little comfort in your body. I want us to learn today in this moment the power of pausing and sorting some things out. There is nothing about life that says we have to rush. There's nothing about life that just says the decision must be in this exact moment. And most of us with our experience would tell you, when those kind of decisions have to be made, they often turn out to be the wrong ones. So I want you just to reflect in this time that we have together on the power of pausing and sorting some things out. The same way we gave our body a chance to just move a little bit so that it could then find stillness. Imagine yourself just stopping on this path. It didn't turn out the way you thought. It was so nice and comfortable for those several footsteps that you were able to look around and enjoy the landscape around you. And then something changed. And the terrain was less trodden. And the path was less clear. And I would venture to say that that is our life. We're moving along. We're looking around. We're taking it all in, smelling and feeling and seeing. Getting comfortable. Feeling content. And then invariably, something changes on the path. And our two modes of facing that are just bulldoze through or get frustrated and just quit. But I would ask you tonight, instead, let's find the pause. Let's not rush, but let's not give up either. And so as we stand in whatever spot you're in life right now, maybe it's connected to your job, to your relationships, to something health-wise for you or someone that you love. Life is always going to be uncertain. But the one certainty you have is your power to pause. To pause, to breathe, to sort through whatever you need to sort through. And then make the very best choice for you in that moment. And on that path, it might be to go a different way. It might be to wait a little longer for the uncertainty to clear. It might be to reach out and ask someone to walk it along with you. But let's just think about how we could choose one of those options instead of choosing to bulldoze through or to give up out of frustration, when there are so many other options that we have. The older we get, the more time we have to reflect on how things have, or maybe have not, gone as we have expected or wanted. But it also gives us a chance to reflect on the times in which we were able to rest in the moment and not rush into decisions that could cause further destruction or frustration. And so tonight, let's share in the pause. We're not thinking about any big decisions tonight. We're not making any big plans. Just evaluate, where are you on this path? Professionally, personally, relationally, physically, health-wise, mentally. And wherever you are in this moment, let's pause together. Let's breathe. And as you breathe, see what option becomes clearer to you. Maybe I need to look a different direction. Maybe I need to pause and wait and be a little longer. And maybe I need to reach out to the resources that I have and ask them to walk the path with me. So take a deep breath in and feel the control of you having options. And then let it go and release any doubt or uncertainty that tries to creep in. Breathe in. Feel the fullness of you having control of options. And breathe out the disappointment, the frustration that you may feel for things not being exactly as you'd hoped. Because as long as there is breath in our lungs, there is more right in our lives than there is wrong. So breathe with me in these moments and seek a little clarity for yourself. What should be the next step for you on whichever path it is that's causing you a little bit of heartache? Breathing in, I realize there's far more right with me in my life than there is wrong. And breathing out, I let go of my insecurities. Breathing in, I claim the fact that there is far more right with me in my life than there is wrong. Breathing out, I release my doubt and insecurities. And as we prepare to close our time, just sit for just a moment longer with me. And let me share what this path that I'm on looks like for me. Just to encourage you that you're not by yourself. Because for many years, my way of approaching spots on the path that weren't exactly as I wanted was to bulldoze through. Every personality test that I would take, every indicator about me was the bulldozer. But what I have found over the last few years as my meditation practice has become stronger is there is so much power in the pause. The bulldozing way of life is no more. Not for me anyway. And so I want to give you that example just so that you will know it is never too late to find a different way of handling what life gives us. Some days the path is clear and you can walk along it barefoot with no problems. And some days it's really rocky and it's dark and it has things growing over it. And when those days come, I've learned the power for me personally is in the pause. I wait, I breathe, I meditate, I wait a little longer. Sometimes it's a lot longer, Sometimes it's a little longer. But I would say to you today, there is power in the pause. Namaste.